oshanas this morning to attend classes. The water is not deep except in areas where there are man-made holes that are a threat to the safety of the children. The children say they are sticking to their normal routes to navigate the flood waters safely. Joining us for an update on the northern floods is NBC reporter Ndapanda Shuuya. Ndapanda, good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening, Nina. Thank you for having me.
Ndapanda, thus far, what is the situation on the ground? Is the water reaching alarming levels yet? And perhaps you can tell us which areas are considered flood risks at this point.
Nina, the flood waters from Onghala are still coming in at the same pace that they came in when they entered Namibia on Friday last week. Still, the only villages that are in a critical situation, let's not say critical, but they are a bit cordoned off by the water, is the Onghala, where we were this morning, as well as Imbadalunga. This is where the borders between Namibia and Angola, where the water entered first into the country. They are using that stream, so this is the most severely affected villages. The rest of the villages, for example, the Shoke village has also received a few, as well as Waingu, but nothing at alarming levels. The water has proceeded towards the oshanas, going to the Oshana region, passing in Dola, but still within their streams. So there's still no cause for concern to say maybe they are overlapping into the Omango fields at this present moment, Nina.
It's been advised that people move to higher grounds. Have they been adhering to this? And is there also assistance that is being offered to the individuals?
There's still no need for people to move to higher grounds, but our logistics are all in place. We've spent the day with the governor of the region, Valden Devashia. We have also spent the day with colleagues from the Namibia Defense Force, just to ensure that all logistics are put in place. For example, there has been a place or an area that has been identified for those that might need to be relocated as the days progress. Because, Nina, right now, the only risk that is present or looming is the fact that if it rains, these floods might become a danger, perhaps, or a catastrophe, if I may.
As I mentioned right in the beginning, learners are crossing the oshanas to attend school, and I'd like to know if there's been any report from the education circuit on whether school will be temporarily closed, cancelled, and are there reports of other schools in the regions facing the same predicament?
There are basically only two schools in the area or in the affected area that have been severely affected by these flood waters. This morning at Onghala, I remember, Nina, that this is the school that has a road that was nearly washed away by the floods. But as we witnessed this morning, the children were crossing on their own without assistance by the elders. And this is what was being mentioned, for example, in the news reports as well as on radio. Parents were called upon to ensure that they walk their children to school, but this was not adhered to. The little children from grade 1 to grade 9 were walking on their own in the oshanas. The school, for example, the Onghala Combined School where we were at, the school had a prompt meeting with the teachers as well as the school management, and they made a decision on an urgent basis to suspend classes for grade 0, which is grade 0 to grade 3, while tomorrow they are going to have a mass meeting with the parents as well as the education officers from Enana to just chart the way forward for the learners who are now finding themselves in grade 4 to grade 9. Now, the options that the school is saying is on the table is, for example, either to entirely suspend school for the next couple of days until the situation normalizes or stabilizes, or to get these learners to get to the school and camp there temporarily until the water level subsidizes.
Well, Ndapanda, that's all the time we have, but thank you so much for joining us and thank you for keeping us updated on the matter on the ground.
Thank you.
That was one of our NBC